everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video it will be another Crohn's related topic. If you have seen my first video then you will know that I do suffer with Crohn's disease, but if you don't then it would probably be a good idea for you just to go on to my first video that I've made regarding my chronic illness, just so you get a sort of basic outline understanding. So this video is just 4 points that I wish people knew about my condition. First of all, I wanted to say that this video is not a dig at anybody. It's not related to anybody in particular. It's just a general video. I have been dealing with this for 10 years now, and everybody that I come across, this video could be for them, just so I don't have to do the awkward explaining thing. Because trying to explain to somebody what Crohn's disease is can be a bit awkward and embarrassing for myself. So to kickstart this, point number 1 would be that with Crohn's disease, although I did discuss it in my first video, there is a big poo taboo. You will need to go to the toilet a lot. And even though that is a big factor around Crohn's disease, that is not the main point essentially. Abdominal pain, that is a big factor. Sometimes it is really uncomfortable and unmanageable. I have spoke about abdominal pain quite a bit in my first video. The other factor would be fatigue. Now with fatigue, that does play, I can get my words out, that does play quite a big role within this condition. You will have days when you are very tired, you don't want to get out of bed, you'd love to stay in bed all the time. There will be days where you have to cancel your plans with people because unfortunately you're just too tired and you just generally haven't got the energy to get up, get dressed and get out and meet people. Weight loss, that's quite a big factor within Crohn's disease if you're having a flare-up. A flare-up, if people don't know what that means, because I do reference that quite a lot, a flare-up is basically when your Crohn's disease is active. So that would be when a part of your bowel is inflamed, red, ulcerated, and that would cause your bowel to narrow. So with that in mind, that's what a flare-up is. If you are having a flare-up and you are trying to eat during the day, obviously you will be digesting the food, but not as well as you normally do, so it won't digest properly, which means you will essentially need to go to the toilet. And in that case, because you're not getting the food and the nutrients in your body that you need, you will lose a lot of weight. I say a lot, it just depends on the person, but you will lose weight essentially. And the last factor within the first point that I wanted to talk about, mental health. With Crohn's disease, mental health play a big factor within the illness in general. If you are not very well for a week or two, then you will feel emotionally drained. Having Crohn's disease is a lot. It takes a lot out of you. And if you aren't feeling very well and you do just want to stay in bed all day, you don't want to get up, you don't want to get dressed, you don't want to get ready, you don't want to go anywhere, etc. I think you can see my point. Then it will play a big factor within your mental health. It will make you feel drained, emotionally drained. You may feel really stressed or anxious because you do want to get out, you do want to do things, but you physically just can't. You haven't got the energy to do it. So that is a big factor for me, I think, especially if you do keep needing to go to the toilet and you are with somebody, or you're at an event, or you're out and you do constantly need the toilet, then that can be really self-conscious. So that's the first point that I wanted to discuss. The second point that I wanted to mention is that everyone's journey is different. Crohn's disease can affect different people in different ways. My sister also suffers with Crohn's disease and hers is a lot worse than mine, and I feel mine's quite manageable compared to hers. Don't get me wrong, these past few weeks I have felt quite unwell, but it's nothing compared to what she has to go through. Her Crohn's disease is a lot worse than mine, as I've just said. If you would like my sister to come into a video with me and film to come into a video with me. If you would like my sister to film a video with me and we can do like a question and answers and go through her story, then I can do that for you. Just leave a comment in the description and I'm sure she may be more than happy to come on camera and talk about it, but I'm not sure. Crohn's disease is not a nice illness. It won't be nice for anybody, but it is managed differently for different people. What I'm trying to say is coming across on camera. Basically, everybody's journey is different, everybody's Crohn's disease is different, everybody deals with it different, they're on different medications, some is a lot worse than others. So I just wanted to say to not pigeonhole Crohn's disease. People think that it will be the same for everybody and it isn't. Everybody's insides are different. They're not the same. Crohn's disease can affect different parts of the bowel for different people. Mine affects the small bowel going into the large bowel, and I know that it can affect, I've read up that it can affect, that it's affected somebody's large bowel or their colon. Don't know if that's the same thing, I have no idea, it's just what I've heard. Number 3, so the third point that I wanted to talk about is that Crohn's disease is a lifelong illness. It's a chronic illness. There has not yet been a cure found, so it will stay with you for life. Ellie, cut that bit out because it's not correct. So when people do find out that I have Crohn's disease, I could say to somebody, oh, I'm feeling really unwell today, I really don't feel well, my stomach hurts, I feel really tired, I'm really drained, and they say, oh, you'll be okay. I know I'll be okay because I've been dealing with this for 10 years. I'm on medication and I look after myself, so I know that I'll be okay. But at this moment in time, I don't feel okay. I don't feel fine. For people to say, oh, you'll be fine, don't worry about it. I'm not worrying about it. That's just a comment that does annoy me a little bit. Point number 4 is just a bit of like a pet peeve, as you want to call it, but it's when people say to you, oh, you look really well, you always look really nice, you always look good. And I know it's hard to accept an illness that's on the inside that you cannot see. If you haven't got a physical illness, then I think it is hard for people to accept. To somebody for having a hidden illness, as I like to call it, I'm sure I can agree for people that have Crohn's disease that that isn't something that they want to hear. Especially if other people are trying to compare it to themselves. So just say, for example, well, you look really good, I don't. On the other hand, I've had no sleep because my husband or my boyfriend was snoring all night. They've kept me up all night and you look a lot better than I do. And really that is not something that we want to hear. And although you may think that that's something similar to what we're dealing with, and I know you probably are trying to make us feel better by showing an example or letting us know that you've had the same experience, it is not quite the same, unfortunately. You can sort of see what I'm trying to say. If not, I do apologise. It's very difficult to try and get your opinions across. I have written loads of notes down here, but to try and get opinion across on like the camera talking is very difficult. But I'm hoping you can sort of understand what I am trying to say with that point. Those were just 4 points that I wanted to discuss around Crohn's disease and really what people need to know with regards to what we deal with on a day-to-day basis. I hope this has given you just a little more information from my first video, as the first video was just the basics. So this video sort of covers a more in-depth, insight to my journey and what can bother me with regards to people finding out that I have Crohn's disease. If there is anything else that you are interested in with regards to Crohn's disease and anything that you do want to know, then you can just put it in the description box or the comment section and I will be happy to get back to you. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up as well as subscribing, because that will really help my channel. So thank you for watching everybody, and I will see you in my next video.